Yeah, Jai Hind to all Facebook, YouTube, colleague, friends, seniors, and junior who are watching online discussions under the heading of Live Pharma Coalition. Every month, LPC brought to you various pharma experts from the research and development, R&D, academic, quality control, QC, QA, quality assurance, marketing, sales, packaging, regulatory, supply chain, finance, HR, training, and other pharma departments. This will enlighten knowledge about the current happening in the future in various department and subfield at a single glance. To begin with the online discussion today's under the heading of LPC-16, this is the 68th Facebook and YouTube live webinar. In today's fourth Facebook and YouTube live webinar, we have the pharma expert speaker from the research and development, operation, and marketing fields. So, as we do have the renowned the sales and marketing panelist as well as moderator along with us. Now over to our major panelist, ICS Pharma sir. Unmute yourself.
ICS, I think muted. Unmute.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Good morning, and welcome to Live Pharma Coalition, your partner in learning. And I hope that all of you have celebrated the 74th Independence Day. And we all know that India got independence after the 2 decades of struggle by many sacrifices and the many lives. And now India is actually fighting another freedom from the COVID. So to help you in gaining the knowledge and getting better during these tough times, LPC brings these knowledge sessions, and we have with us the experts from operations today, and we have R&D and from marketing and sales. Yeah. So as a part of this independence, and we all know that without the people who are actually watching and who are encouraging, the sessions doesn't have any meaning. So we all know that it's you who are actually making Live Pharma Coalition a great platform in India to be one of the most recognized platforms. So as a part of this, we are recognizing the top fans from both Facebook and YouTube. So these are the fans from our Facebook, page, like with Deepak Loyalka, since the beginning, since the first LPC that, he has been with us, and then Armugam, Periyasamy, Chakradhar Puvala, Santosh Kumar Kotta, Ratnakar Kaul, Armugam Arasan, Hamid Nadaf, Ajay Kumar Arepalli, Abhishek Kesari, Ashish Thanki, and Santosh Kumar Vajnapalli and Shilpi Abhijit Kumar. So
very good.
apart from that, thank you all for your untiring learning experience through LPC. And now we'll see who are the YouTube top followers. Yes, undoubtedly it is Senthil, who is the top follower from YouTube. And then Sudeep Bhaumik, Nitin Kagalkar, Dinesh Shah, and Sanish Jagan, Paras Kamdar, Javed Khan, Dharmendra Sharma, Shiv Kumar, and Javed Meman. So I only take the names of people who has actually put the the question and answers, and but there are across people, there are more than 23,000 people who are actually the fans. So it is for everyone. We thank very much from our sincere as a team effort, and we as a LPC team, we congratulate and we thank all of you for your trust as well as for your encouragement in our all the sessions. Yeah, now over to Vinod.
Yeah, thank you, ICS. As rightly said, this platform, Live Pharma Coalition, We are having a 16th live pharma coalition, all thanks to our live audience. Our live YouTube and Facebook audience have made this platform big. So big contribution is coming from our live audience. Please do continue contributing. As you know, live pharma coalition, the sole purpose is only sharing knowledge. We don't have any commercials attached. Views expressed by our speakers are solely of their own. Live pharma coalition and their companies are not responsible in any way. And as I've already shared, that there is no commercial attached. Our sole objective is to enhance the knowledge. Those who are listening to us, as rightly said by my colleague ICS, 23,000 plus is the reach of live pharma coalition. So let's make it much more bigger than this. With this, I will welcome and all the speakers and hand over to our moderator for today, Yashwant Mishra. Over to you, Yashwant.
Thank you very much, Vinod. Thank you very much. Welcome on behalf of the Live Pharma Coalition. I would like to welcome all the YouTube and Facebook viewers. As you will be agreeing, organizations and leaders across the industry, pharma industry, are struggling to keep a balance between the survival of the business and safety of the employee. One way they have to survive the business, which is struggling a lot, and other way safety of employees also is very much important. And in order to keep a balance between these both, it is very important for the leaders to build a high performance team. Right, this is a time so that they can encourage the team, build a high performance team, which will be having, despite all odds, will be having a catalyst role to revive the business. And exactly for that, today's Live Pharma Coalition, we have diverse people from across the industry. Our first speaker, Amrinder Kumar, is there. He will take us through building high performance team. Amrinder is BU head in Cipla. Then we have Mr. Srirama Murthy. He is from operation, and Mr. Lokesh Pathak, and he comes from the production manufacturing angle. So we will have a diverse group. So let us listen from them what they are going to share. I would like to request Amrinder to give an overview what you are going to share, Amrinder.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and wishing you a very happy Independence Day, which we just celebrated yesterday. I think I'm going to talk more on my experience with building the high-performing team. And it's all about the current situation when the pharma business is going through a very tough phase. How to keep that happening, how to keep your team motivated, how to bring the best out of your team. So that's what is the purpose of this.
Wonderful. Looking forward to learn from you, Amran. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Srirama Murthy, what is an operation you are going to teach us?
So I would like to share my views on what is actually operations are there, and during this typical time with COVID-19, how the industries are struggling to overcome this situation.
True. Thank you very much. And then let's come to Lokesh Pathak. Lokesh, yes, what is the thing you are going to share with us?
Namaste to all. This is a new holistic salutation in situation of COVID. And I would like to present what is the role of holistic medicines in today's scenario, and what is the role of India and where India can reach here, looking at the current scenario, and what are the potential, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities.
Thank you very much, Lokesh. Thank you very much. Before I hand over to Amrendra, one request to all the Facebook and YouTube viewers, please keep on sharing your learnings in the chat box, your relevant questions in the chat box. We will have a follow-up on that, and we will try to address all your questions. So keep on sharing, and thank you for your appreciation in chat box and Facebook. So Amrendra is going to share with us building high performance teams, right? And he has experience of 15 years. Is a director business unit head in Cipla Respiratory, an IT graduate from Delhi University, followed by MBA from Symbiosis Pune. Amrendra is having 15 years of experience in pharma sales and marketing, sales force effectiveness, and government institutions. Also, he has worked in NPCIL, Government of India, and Glenmark. So, Amrendra, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Yashwant sir. So, I think topic itself, it talks about the building high performance team. I think my first, point here is what I have written. It's hard to create, but we have to work to keep effort. So I think, see, I would like to, go straight to my next question. Actually, I won't take much of time here. So there are 2-3 points which probably we'll be discussing. So can we go next, sir? So there are only 3 points of my discussion here. Is that one is your team development, second is the high performance, and third, of course, the culture. How you want to build that culture, and what are the role of leader in that. I have a question to all my leaders or all the people, those who are part of this discussion today. Do I know? So how much actually you know about you as a leader, or you as a person who is driving that particular team? So I think when it comes to the professional leadership, the first question comes to us, whether I know. So a quick response, if I can get that, do you really know what you feel like leader? What is the answer from your side? What kind of leader you are? How much you know about yourself?
Any response ICS sir and Vinod can revert?
So I think people must be thinking that
Yes.
why this question is. Yeah, any response?
Leader need to drive. There is a response coming in. Leader need to drive his team. It is coming.
Okay,
I
great.
should know what are the key things of my team, strength and weakness of my team. That is what response is coming.
Great. So thank you, thanks people those who are responding, and I think quickly I'll go to I want to start with the beautiful story which I heard sometime during my management studies and all, and every time you might be going through it. This is all about the Kalidasa. We all know that great poet Kalidasa in this Indian history. So there was a time when Kalidasa was traveling around some places. He was roaming, and he was thirsty, and then he needed some food. So he went to a village, and this story is all about that. When he reached to a village, he found a lady standing there. So he asked for help. Kalidasa asked for help. The lady simply asked Kalidasa that, "Who are you?" It came to his mind, the Kalidasa mind, that let us give some, the great answer to this lady. So Kalidasa said that I am a traveler. Lady asked, there are only two travelers in this world. One is sun, another is moon. They only travel. Then Kalidasa said, I am guest. Again, lady replied, there are only two guests in this world, youth and wealth. They come and then they go. Kalidas thought, and then again he replied, I am a tolerant person. Again, lady replied, there are only two truly tolerant in this world. One is your earth, another is tree. So Bhumi and tree, they only give, they don't take anything. Now Kalidas, he started now thinking a bit more that, and then he said that I am a stubborn person. Again, that lady replied that there are only two stubborn. One is hair, another is nail. They grow even if you cut. So those two are stubborn. So finally, he said that I am a fool. The lady replied that only two kind of fool in this world. One is incapable king, and second is your sycophant ministers. They are the only two fool. So now Kalidasa fell at the feet of that lady and said that Mata Saraswati that goddess, you are the god of learning wisdom. So I'm sorry. That he said that Kalidasa, you are a voice, but only if you know yourself, you become a human being. A person without any awareness of self has not reached to the pinnacle of being human. So this was the answer from that lady. This applies to our whole world of leadership. That before knowing the world, whether I know myself or how much I know about myself, that's the biggest question when it comes to the leadership. I think the crux of this whole story is that if you really want to build a performing, high performing team, the first thing, do you know about yourself first, and then how much you know about your team? Then only you can work on their strength and area of improvement, and that can bring to a performing team. So I think this story sum up my whole presentation of maybe next 15 minutes, where I talk about the all the process. This is not new. These processes are all old. We all have gone through somewhere in our training, somewhere in our college, MBAs. We have learned about the Techman's theory, where it is boldly, told that these are the 4 basic processes of any performing team or the developing team. This talks about firming, storming, norming, and performing. I think I personally have seen all these in my life. I'll share you my personal experience that how it goes well when it comes to a performing team. So can you just move next? This is the process of a best performing team. Now here, probably I'm going to talk, or maybe you all may be looking for that. Okay, fine, this I know. What is my role here? Being a leader, how I am going to work on this? So I don't know how many of you have traveled to Rishikesh and or maybe some places where the water rafting is going on. I think the best way you can learn all these 4 processes is to do rafting. There if you really want to build a performing team, I think the objectives of your team, the goals of your team has to be clearly set. And there should not be a single individual goal. It has to be a collective goal. It has to be a one goal for the organization or maybe for the team. So that is where is the role of leader, that whether I am setting a single individual goal for entire team or not. Is that everyone have individual goals? No, I should really look into that. So forming the team, leader's role is to really align your team members with your goal. And I think setting goal itself is a big subject which I'll not take here. But yes, when you are working on the goal setting, I think last 4-5 months, many of you have gone through the goal setting processes, which is the ideal process of any organization to move ahead. But are you really into that goal setting for your team? So that's your team is with you on one table for any goal setting, and you're setting always the higher goals with showing the right path to them, that this is what is achievable and we have to take this way. And once you do that, you have to show them the right processes. Setting higher standard of goals is not only going to help us. It is all about how you are, establishing the clear processes. And during those processes, you always have to build the trust that yes, this is what we are going to achieve together. And during those processes, there will be a lot of conflicts. The people, one person at a mid of some time can move ahead from your this entire goal. Though no, I don't believe that this is working now. How you're resolving those kind of conflicts and keeping your all people intact. So when you are starting a rafting, I think 9 people or 10 people on one boat, you have set the goal that okay, fine, in 20 minutes we have to cross this river. And you all, have taken the oath, okay, fine, we'll do that. While when you started the rafting, one person can surrender that, boss, this is difficult. The current of water is very, very, tough. I cannot now sail through. There your role comes, that to really, come out of that conflict, that okay, fine, we can go through it. Because you are showing them a direction, okay, fine, here the current is less, I will move through it. So in today's process of the pharma business, I think that's very important. Probably in you all have faced that challenge. You are when you are an executive or when you are a first line manager, usually the manager just calls you and tells you, okay, fine, you have to do this, but we never get the answer how to do it. So setting the right processes, that how I am going to do it, how I am going to maybe creating the more customers, that has to be clear. So that's the very, very important process. Now if you are going into these processes, if you are moving, you are leading a team, sometimes you have to take a step back just to see that what you have formed and what you are driving, is it going in a same direction, or somewhere you need to take a course correction? So taking a step back does not mean that I'm going back from my goals. It's all about, I'm just, watching that my steps, my corrections, where I need to take about. So step back, when I talk about it, actually to trust team members basically on the goal. You are reiterating your vision, and this is a time when you are rearranging, you are building a team. So maybe while you are driving a team, you are taking a step back and saying, hey, see, we're going good. I think this we need to correct. Your all step cannot be always right. Every step cannot be right always. So when you're taking a step back and you're saying, okay, fine, this I think was not so right. So we need to take a course correction here. I think that makes the confidence high of your team member. Okay, fine. This leader is not about just driving me. He's always guiding and taking a step back and showing that this is right and this is not so right. So I think that's the best way when you are norming your team. And I think if these three processes work together, I think your team is performing. So delegating tasks and then projects to the team members. So who will be next? You in your team. That's the important one. We all love. So somewhere in my career, I work as a sales manager, as a senior kind of leadership level. So there, usually when it comes to someone elevation under my team, so my boss used to say that he's your best buddy here. He's performing super in your team. How can you bet to elevate him into a different team or a different division? I think that's where is the the game is over. When you are trusting your team, I think you always have to build next you when it comes to your team. So that's called it's not about a delegation of task means that I'm giving my some of the task to one person to do it. No, why I am delegating a task, it is to make sure that I am building next person who will take my tomorrow's role. So high performance team, I think if I take these all 3-4 core processes, the high performance team, how, yes, can you go next, sir? How I build this team. So I think it's very important that you are forming, you are storming, norming, and then performing. But it is very important that you have to have skin in the game. I remember one story of Joy Mukhopadhyay. See, I'm not very good into cricket. I'm not. I don't have that great idea about that. I'm weak. But I heard sometime Joy Mukhopadhyay. He was the team manager for Indian cricket team, and then for the Kolkata Knight Riders, who plays in this IPL and all. So I heard him sharing a story about his childhood. So way back in year 1870s, you all know the Calcutta is full of trade union. Those point of time, it was the trade union was at high, and Congress trade unions were very tough and had to manage them. So there was a dock company, a ship company, who used to actually the old ships, and then which comes to Calcutta dock, they used to repair those ships, and then they were sending it for the work. So I'm just forgetting the dock company name. It was a big dock company, and this Joy Mukhopadhyay, their father was in army, and he came back on a deputation to Kolkata for this ship company. He was a brigadier, and he was doing that, and he was basically a mechanical engineer. So this task has been given to him that, okay, you go to that place, because that ship repairing is of course a difficult task, where you need a bigger ship, where the smaller ship can come, release the water, and then you repair, and then the ship will go for work. So this bigger ship itself got a difficulty. There was some problem comes to this, and to repair that, there was a dam required at that river where they used to. So Calcutta, you know that Hooghly River, it is there. So this brigadier spoke to their civil engineers and asked that how to do that. Can we build a dam? They said no. The next question was, can we build the other way around? The civil engineer said that okay, we can build a mud dam. So he asked how long this will stay for. He said 72 hours. These brigadiers said, okay, fine, I have 48 hours maximum to do. I'll make sure that ship is getting repaired during those 48 hours. Now he went to the chairman and he said that we want to do a mud dam and then we want to repair this. We will release the water and then we'll repair. The chairman blasted. He said that once you do this mud dam, the thousands of workers can lose their life if mud dam collapse. So the brigadier simply said, okay, fine, this discussion was no more there with you. So please, forget this discussion. I'm just moving out. He came out, he's spoken to the civil engineer and he said, okay, fine, you start working on the mud dam. We'll take the chance, we'll take the rest. And the entire trade union started, speaking about this mud dam. Then they were announcing that this brigadier and the chairman wants to risk our life. And during those periods, if you all remember, Chas Nala case happened. You know that Kala Patthar movie, this came, has done that movie for that. So the trade union was saying that, okay, another Chas Nala is planned with the brigadier, we will lose our life, thousands of workers will die, we won't allow the engineer to do all this. All these were going on, and then suddenly one day this gentleman brigadier went to their house and then he asked Joy, do you want to ride with me? So any kid will love to go ride with his dad. He said, okay, fine, we'll go. So from his home, he came to the same place, the dockyard, and the brigadier started roaming on the same mud dam, holding the hand of Joy. So they both were, riding on that mud dam. And all the workers were working there nearby. After some 20-30 minutes, he said, Joy, okay, fine, you go now to home. I'll be here. He went to home and then the brigadier was staying there for some time. The entire worker come to him and he said, okay, fine, we'll work on this. With this mud dam, we'll start on repairing this ship. You can take the work start. This is not about starting work of that ship. When brigadier took his son on that mud dam, he was showing that it is not only you who is risking your life. It is me, along with my family, I am ready to risk the life of everyone on this mud dam. And that story, that actually the work which brigadier have done has helped him. Entire worker worked with them, and then this ship repaired within 48 hours. They release the water, and then this they gone through this all mud dam and all. It is important when you are leader, when you are a kind of brigadier of your team, you have to have skin in the game. That's all about making your team perform. So leadership, when I talk, there is a big stories. There is a big presentation, the big leadership. The words are there, so I won't go into that. But it's all about providing direction to your team. I feel in all my 15 years of my career, I see my leaders only to help me on a common purpose. He should inspire me for that purpose and providing me the direction. That's what is my aim. Always I look forward to that. And when I am working with him on the purpose, the role has to be clear. I should be a member of that goal. I should be defined with, when you are dealing with the same kind of team, you have to have a clear role for your team members and then methods of working together. It's not about, so today the world is not because your title, your designation is something so people are respecting you. It's all about how you are making changes in their life. That's why people respect you as a leader. So it's very important to work together and making sure that you are a part of that team. So we are not divided because of designations and because of the titles. So that's where it's a very, very important as an ingredient of high performance team. Yeah, so can you move next? So I won't go into that, the characteristic, but yes, the alignment, inspiring vision, team spirit, which has to be action oriented. These are the 4 key elements when you are driving your team. So I think when you have a mutual trust, then only you know and grow. And that's what is the fundamental of the leadership. People are talking high about the current situation of COVID. The pre-COVID situation was different. Post-COVID situation will be different. I will tell you, the biggest challenge of today will be the biggest joke of tomorrow. I always believe that. You all have heard all stories of any company going through a tough phase, and then after some time, a recent example I always quote as a Maggie example, that all the lead issues and everything has happened, but the only thing was the leaders have kept their team intact, motivated, they inspired, and that great team spirit has made them came out of that situation. Today, still Maggie is the #1 under this market. So I always believe that any situation you should have your characteristics, defined, and it should be limiting to those that you really want to work upon. Yes, sir. Can you move ahead? So I won't take much of time here, but yes, I think I always believe that if you want to really build your team, respect has to be there for each member. I think whether he is a fresher, so I always, when I hire a person as a territory manager who is the last level in my team, I always try to interact with him maybe in 15 days or 30 days, just to make sure that he feels that, okay, fine, I am very much a part of this team, and I am fully respected by the each leader of this team. I think effective team meetings and then conflict resolution. Sometime I heard that review meetings of this pharma industry, always people know that the review meetings are known as one of the nightmare for the people. Some people. I always believe that these team meetings should always do maybe sometime a resolution, the conflict resolution, or to give the directions. If I waste 20 minutes of my time of review in post-mortem things, probably I'm not going to give the direction to people. So my team meeting always should not for the post-mortem. It always should be future building, that how I'm going to build from here. And then you all know that effective decision making, set up processes, measure the progress. If you are not measuring the progress, I have seen many organizations failing or leaders failing, because it is like goals are set, but performance measurement happens only at the end of the year or maybe at the end of the quarter. Then you have failed. So probably that's where you need to really work on that. If it is weekly, if it is monthly, or if it is fortnightly, you have to monitor, you stick to that. If you are sticking, probably no COVID, no non-COVID is going to really impact your life. So that is what is more important. And of course, protect your team from all evils. When I write all evils, for me, anyone out of my team is evil for me, because everyone has an eye on my team. Once I have a performing and the super performing team with me, so everyone will look forward to take one out of my team. So I have to protect them. And how this all you will do, it's very difficult today. People are they have higher aspiration, they have higher goals in their personal and professional career. So you have to build their capabilities and showing the career path. So I already shared that it's very important that they don't respect because of my title. I have to show them that how you are growing. So I think when I talk all such 5-6 things, that's the high performance culture. If I'm practicing all such things, then I'm making sure that I'm enabling the capability of my team. Maybe through L&D, I really believe that learning and development has to be the regular process. When you talk about the enablement of the team, it's not about just sharing some the PPT, sharing some videos, or sharing some thoughts. It always has to be maybe one-to-one, maybe virtual, but it has to be one-to-one learning and development. The courses assigned for them, the sometime small module for your team is very, very important. If the people from IT working with you, how they can collaborate with you, that is very, very important point in today's world. encouragement, we all know that rewarding any small thing help your team to really, have a respect for this entire team and leader. And of course, I should empower the team by open communication. And empowerment does not mean that I'm giving anything to them. It is all to what kind of changes you are expecting. So to be adaptable to change, that's how I'm empowering my people and keeping the people engaged. So it's not always about having the team meeting or maybe team dinner. Sometimes out of that box also helps people to have a fun learning or fun building activities. Maybe sometime your family engagements with your team member, that makes a very powerful impact in the life. I believe that the letters of my elevation, if it comes through my father or through my wife, means I enjoy many of the recent publishes I have seen on the Facebooks and on YouTube's, and really it works. Uh, I think my recommendation to the people, I really practice this, try to practice basically to have this out so that the team dysfunction cannot be there. So absence of trust should not be there. So that's the biggest derailer. The fear of conflict. You always should have a conflict, but for the better developments, for the the futuristic thought. So you should have a conflict, but do not fear of that conflict. Try to give a resolution to the people. Commitment once done, I think leadership is all about commitment. Your commitment has a higher value, and avoidance of accountability is a big challenge in today's world. When I'm interacting with my team, then many people speak to me where I feel that, and this is where I really need to build upon. And of course, inattention to result is really another leader. So I think these five things, which is the old, and this we learned over the period of time from different management colleges. So I think this is the best one. Finally, I'll tell you, I think today's era, I so far what I discussed about my learning, my experience in the current world, in the current situation of the COVID, these are my three things which I practice. I'm just giving you my mantra, that what I am practicing. People are asking, my chairman, the senior manager, vice president asks me that boss, what are you going to do in the current situation of COVID? I say very simple, that I keep my team motivated through goals, because every single individual have some needs which requires values to fulfill. You never know. Maybe the cricket game can, watching a cricket in a stadium can influence someone, but not to a other person. So what is his need? I really need not to work on that, but for that he requires some values, and for those values there has to be always a goal linked with it. So if I am rightly making all these three alignments, probably my work is done, the leadership work is done. So this is where I have suggestions to the leaders in this world, that please really work on the goals. It is not about right or wrong goals. And keeping this will make sure that you are performing, your team is performing, and you are intact. You're keeping your team intact from all the areas. That's all in the current situation. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Arvind. Really, the presentation was really very good. Let me tell you, although the presentation was directed to sales and marketing team, but the process is so simple and so good that it can be implemented in other teams also. Anyone in the industry who is having a team, maybe in production, maybe in R&D, maybe in finance, if someone is having team, these are the process for building high performance team, because team dynamics are same. Team dynamics are same in every team. So thank you very much for sharing the good things on building high performance team. A quick recap, 2-3 points what you have told to reinforce. I like your first sentence. Team building high performance team is very hard to create, but worth the effort, right? It will be you will struggle to create a team, but it is worth effort. Then team development processes you have told, forming, storming, norming, and performing. Wonderful. This also applies to everyone, every team. Then leaders should have very good clarity on what is my role in each of these stage. What will be my role in farming stage? What will be my role in the storming stage? What will be my role in norming and performing stage? Then you told about ingredients of high performance team, really wonderful. These are the ingredients, just like ingredients of some recipe are very, very important. Similarly, for leaders, it is very much important to have a perfect ingredients of a high performance team. These are leadership, members, and method. Leadership should build, direct, and inspire. So leaders should build the team, that give a good direction and inspire the team. Members, it is very, very important. I think this is the most important point. Each and every member in the team should be very clear about the role and the goal. What is the team goal? What is my role? What is the team goal? What is my role? Everyone should be clear. And third is method. That should be a uniform method. Thank you very much. Then high performance team, characteristics you told, mutual trust, inspiring vision, create team spirit, action orientation, and smart alignment. Really, it is very good. Thank you very much, Amrin. Really, it is perfectly matching to every. So if anyone follows this rule, he can build a high performance team, which will have a trusting team, and you can create a sustainable business, which is the need of the hour. So thank you very much once again. Let me go to my panelists if they have some questions from the Facebook. And
yeah, there is one
yes.
positive have come from YouTube. I would like to read that. First of all, Amrindra ji, very well, good presentation. It is highly impactful presentation which you have given, and especially not only for the leaders who are there, who want to aspire to become a leader even in pharma colleges. For them also, it is a learning. And there has been an appreciation in YouTube. There is, I will read out. Mega, she has appreciated. She has said leader role should be to pass on all the credits and appreciation to team members and take all failures and all repercussions of action. This is an ideal leader, and this motivates team to perform better. So she has made a very important point. Thank you, Mega, for making such a very valuable point into Live Pharma Coalition. And Senthil, which is there, our usual, he has appreciated Live Pharma Coalition. Thank you, Senthil. Really, it is your efforts, especially on Sunday, you are there giving us the time and going through this, updating your knowledge, you're working on yourself. Thank you, Senthil. Senthil has also said, according to current situation, we need to behave as a situational leader and be a demonstrator. So very important point Senthil has also made, that you need to behave as a situational leader. So yes, thank you, Senthil, for be with us. So I will now go to ICS. ICS.
Yeah.
ICS,
So we have a lot of appreciation from Facebook again. So from Mr. Kalairaj, as well as from Naziruddin Chisti. So they have appreciated the session. It's very important, especially during the tough times, the role of a leader actually comes into picture. Otherwise, people will do their work. So the real leader comes in when there is a problem, when you address it, when you trust, when you build trust. That's where actually people follow you, and they will be, like with you forever. So the presentation was really great, and I really enjoyed the story of Kalidas. He thought that I know everything. This is generally what happens. Once you become a big man, you think that you know everything. But Saraswati Devi, she actually made him realize you know nothing. So there are a lot of things to learn. So if you have that mindset, yes, definitely you will lead, and you will be like a role model for everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really good inspiring. So, Amrindra, please keep on tune. Yes, at the end we will take some more questions. So let us go to the second speaker, Sri Ramamurthy. So, Sri Ram, please share your presentation. So, again, another wonderful session we are going to have of Mr. Sri Ramamurthy. Sri Ram is having MS in manufacturing management from BITS Pilani. He is also worked for 25 years in Aurobindo, Orchid, Apotex, Cipla, and not only that, he has worked in a diverse role right from the production team member to technology transfer, manufacturing excellence, SAP implementation, and also site head. So he is having that he has grown from the base, you can say, in manufacturing and operation. So he is the best person to talk about operations. So let us hear from Mr. Sri Ramamurthy on pharmaceutical operations. What is new normal? The new learning for us. So over to you. Yeah.
So good morning, friends.
Good morning.
And I would like to share my thoughts over the pharmaceutical operations. So first I will tell the thing is, first slide is work from home. Now here, because of the COVID situations, each and every industry is working from home. From if you are taking from learnings, schools, colleges, everything they are virtually they're conducting their classrooms. Most of the some banks also working from the given homes. IT sector they have a lot of opportunity to work from home. Whereas the pharmaceutical industry come as a essential services, so we don't have opportunity to work from home. We have to go to the factory to manufacture the medicines. Because of the it has to be avoided the shortage in the market. So pharmaceutical sector has to be worked day and night to produce the medicines, and it should be available to the market at right time. Then only the patients can be survived. And other industry, if you consider that one, lot of industries are switch over to work from home criteria. What are the COVID first day onwards, the lockdown first day onwards till today, our companies are working to produce the medicines to keep it available for the market and patients. Next one, I will give you brief about the pharmaceutical industry. The pharmaceutical industry discover, develop, and produce the and market the bulk drugs. It is the interest of the patients to protect the patients. If you cure their diseases, and it is for vaccination and something like that, elevation of the symptoms also. And the pharmaceutical industry is having two parallel verticals are there. One is API, bulk drug industry. Another one is the formulation industry. If anyone know the difference, please let me know.
So we all know about formulations much, not on API, Shriram. So we know that, because that's the final product that we know we use it.
I think bulk drug is the raw material, and formulation is tablet, syrup, capsule. Those are called
Yes, yes.
formulations,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Actually, the active substances are there manufactured in the API industry, because the active substances cannot be given to the human body directly, because this is the synthetic chemicals. Our body made up of 70% water only. So if the drug has to be absorbed by the body, our API products cannot be taken directly into the body. That is why formulation comes to existence. The what is the API is manufactured? API is the form of powder, it will be there. And when the API is converted into the formulation, something like tablets, syrups, nasal spray, and ointments, so that it can be directly used in the human body, inside or outside. Now India, one of the great thing is there that India is known as a pharmacy for world. We are producing 57% the drugs which is used in the US. This is made in India. That is maybe in API, or sometimes it may be formulation also. In India, there are 1600 companies are manufacturing the APIs, and equal amount of companies also is there in the market for the formulation. And in API, what is manufactured by India, it is 70% we are exporting. We are contributing to our India. We are making the Make in India wish also fulfilling through the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, please carry on.
Hello.
Somebody, yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. No, I thought that somebody is asking me some questions. And pharmaceutical industries are there in major companies like Arabindo Pharma and Cipla. They're making more than 200 varieties of the API drugs, and their major share is the exporting. This is the brief about the operations. So next, I will tell you about the operations in pharmaceuticals. So when the operations in the pharmaceuticals means the activities will come in the factory or the plant will come under the operations. So first we'll get a demand from the source and we'll go for the procurement of the raw material, and manufacturing activity will continue. In the manufacturing activity, there are several steps will be there. Some medicines will be manufactured in 2 steps. Some medicines will be manufactured 10 to 12 steps. So some medicines will manufacturing, it will take only within a week. We can manufacture bulk drug, final API we will get. There is some process. If you go for the 2 to 3 months, it will take to get the final API. All the stages independently we have to analyze, and we have to ensure that it is meeting the predetermined specification. And now related to documentation. So in API industry or pharmaceutical industry, documentation is the very important role it will play, because it is a regulation also. Because whatever the medicines we are manufacturing, we have to prepare evidence for that. For suppose any activity performed in the pharmaceutical industry, we have to take the backup of the evidence. For example, one analysis is performed in the quality control laboratory. So we have to take the what is the sample we are taken, the weight slip also we have to take, and how we are dissolved, what is the solvent we are using, what is the quantity of solvent we are using, and once the sample is injected in our system, how the chromatograph is there, what is the standards, if you injected, what is the comparison of there. All these things we have to do it, and everything we have to take the backup and evidence. It is also a regulation, and different countries follow the different regulation. For example, if India, Schedule M is the regulation. So if any formulations or API sell in India, we have to follow the Schedule M regulation. It is the law given, directions given by the government of India. If you are not fulfilled these regulations, we cannot sell our API or formulation inside the India. Like that, US is the FDA guidelines are there, federal regulatory guidelines. So we have to fulfill all the federal regulatory guidelines to sell the product in US. Like that, if we go for the Australia, TGA is there, Therapeutic Goods Administration. Like that, every country have its own regulations are there. To fulfill all the regulations, documentation will play a key and vital role. Next one will distribution. So distribution will happen based on the demand. Now, the key challenges what I'm telling about facing during the COVID period. So COVID period, I told that pharmaceutical come under the essential services. So this is the frontline services, and we can manufacturing activities cannot be performed from work from home. Every person has to go to the factory and he has to discharge his responsibilities. Then only manufacturing activities will be taken place. Here the two major challenges will be there. One is the protecting the pharmacist who is coming to the factory for the working. So we have to protect him. And the second thing is there, we have to protect our medicines also from the all the contaminations. If you take about the contaminations, sometimes the contamination level 10 ppm also not allowed. So 10 ppm level also contamination is not allowed. We have to protect our medicines from 10 ppm level. Not only the synthetic contamination, biological contaminations also we have to control. So if your oral doses we are taking, we have to control our biological microbiology in our product. Then only we can give to the patient. If the biological contaminations are there in our product, it cannot be given to the ill body, because our medicines is going to already infected body. So if you give the contaminated medicine, which is the synthetic contamination or as microbial contamination, it will give the adverse effect on the human body. Some of the precautions which are taken in our factory, I will go through. Actions taken inside the industry. So this is the one of the key challenges in the factory is identifying the victims. If anybody is affected with the virus, the symptoms are coming of 3 to 4 days after only. Till the 4 days he was there inside the factory, and he is the chances of contaminating the other persons. Once the person is identified, we have to support them. So persons are every day we are checking the temperature of the each and every person, and at the gate we are trying the all the our security staff and HR staff to monitor the each and every employee health condition. He is having cold or he is having any body pains, any symptoms are there. If any symptoms are there, we have to separate them to avoid into the other people. So once any symptoms are there, we are sending for the testing. Once testing up there, we are ensuring that he is recovered from the virus effect. After recovery, how the strength is there, and we are supporting them morally. Because when the virus is there, he mentally also feel bad. How I infected and how I have to come out from this situation and all these things. And decontamination of the outer surface, because knowingly, unknowingly, people are walking on the roads and they're coming from the buses and their garments may be contaminated. There is a disinfectant solution. Tunnels are made in the factories so that each and every employee should come through the tunnel, so that whatever the infections are there in the body, it will be killed before he is taken into the inside the factory. Additional sources are provided. Now the guidelines are coming. The people has to wash hands frequently. So where the some places it is possible to wash their hands, some places it is not possible. Water we cannot provide in that area. That area, hand disinfectant, additional hand disinfectant we are keeping, and training the person to the situation. We are here a doctor from the reputed hospital, and each in my factory more than 3,000 employees were there, and each and every individual we are trained about the situation, because today the social media is in very playing a very active role. So in social media, some are truths are coming, some are false messages are coming. The WhatsApp, if I got some information, I will pass without authenticating the information. Just I will pass on to my group. I will post in my group. I will send to my friends. In that, what is the truth are there? What is the false are there? We don't know. So all these things we have to give the clear picture to the employees, because we have to motivate employees to come to the factories. From the lockdown day till now, I am taking a leadership role, and every day I attended the factory, so that if I am attended, my team will get motivated from me, and they also come for the factory. And some are places where the possibility are there, so we are arranging the physical distance also. If any questions are there, please.
Thank you very much, Sri Ramamurthy. Really good insight. Although the topic is very new to us, we think operation means what a surgeon does the operation, right? And for you, operation is whole process. And really, we enjoyed the learning. It's the new learning for us. And operations in pharmaceutical, particularly, you have given a different perspective. What are the being said? Thank you very much for sharing. A quick recap of what the things you have told regarding operations. What I have been able to capture and reinforce. The good thing you told about pharma operations starts with discovery of the drug, developing the drug, then producing the drug in bulk quantity, and marketing. This is the process, right? Discover, develop, produce, and market, right? And 4 universal days. And 2 important things you told: API and formulation. API, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, that is a bulk drug, and formulations, which are the finished product like tablet, capsules. These are the differentiation you have given. India is also searching ahead in manufacturing APIs, and huge scope is there in manufacturing APIs also. Then operations, you saw manufacturing activity in plant and factories, very important. And not only that, there is a process also. When there is a demand, operation flow. When there is a demand, the RM indent will be created, and you will receive the product. Then this will go, raw material will go for manufacturing unit. Then after manufacturing or during manufacturing, there will be analysis and quality check will be there. And then related documentation will be there, because documentation plays a very important role in production operations, right? And after that, it will go for distribution. After the distribution is over, again the loop will be complete, and as per the market demand, again it R&D indent and manufacturing will be there. This is the process you told, and the action we have to take is very, very important. As a leader in operation, if you are the site head, you have to, what you have to check is identify the victims and support them. Very, very important. We have to identify if there is a process problem, there is a intent problem, what is the defect, what is the problem. We have to identify the victim and support the victim. Then decontamination in the COVID area, it is very, very important to do the, because manufacturing of medicine is not like a soap or oil or cosmetic manufacturing. It is a life-saving drugs, right? We are playing with the lives of the human beings. So decontamination plays a very, very important role in that. We have to do, and then hand disinfection. Uh, Hand disinfection, we have not seen it seriously, but if you are in production line, if you are in a manufacturing line, you will be aware of what is the importance of that, right? And then usual physical training of the employees, and physical distance is, these are the process very, very important. So really, I like the new, as I told, it is a new learning for us, and this will be very much useful learning for being a farmer. We should know. Thank you very much once again, Sri
Thank
Ramamurthy.
you.
Over to my panelists for any feedback and comment and question.
Yeah, again, a very nice session for us also, as rightly said by Yashwant. I am also hearing for the first time since I am into sales training. So some insights on manufacturing and how in plant operations to happen. So really insightful session. There has been again Senthil who has made one point. Senthil says, my company is providing COVID insurance to all the employees, including field force. So Senthil wants to make that point. And Neha Kamdar has appreciated Amarendra. Amarendra sir, very nice presentation, and you made it very simple and very effectively. So there is one appreciation which has come for Amarendra ji. Yes, now I will ask my co-panelist, ICS, if there are any.
Unmute, sir.
Yeah, ICS comments. Yeah.
So from the Facebook also we have appreciation to Amarendra from Sujit Koshal for making him as a part of this team. And there are many people who are watching, because most of them are sales and marketing. So what my take from Sriram's presentation is like, so I have a question, two questions to him. So one is Sriram, like, when there was a tension between India and China, so most of us actually felt, scared because Indian pharma industry mostly depend on API from China. So what is your comment on that?
Indian pharmaceutical not API is not depend on the China. Only very few APIs like vitamins are we are dependent on China. Other antibiotics, India is leading. India is leading, but some ingredients are there to manufacture API. We are importing from the China.
Okay.
I have also heard that the API cost is very, very less in China. That is why Indian companies, they tend to bring it. It is cost effective for them to bring from China. Is it true?
Yeah, this is what you heard is true. For suppose for India cost compared to China, they will give with 1/4 cost. Okay. But they cannot give the evidences and the documentation support. Most of the companies, they fail in that. That is why if they are able to make the API with competitive price, but their marketing is challenging is there. They cannot give directly to US because US is asking for a lot of document evidences while you manufacturing. So that is their somewhat weak. So that our lead is continuing in API business. I told that one. India also known as a pharmacy for world.
So Hiramji, one more thing in this context, I wanted to know, as rightly said, we have some dependency on China for API, as India is coming up in a big way in API. What are the other countries apart from China where you can get a cost-effective API are available? Any other countries are there, like apart from China?
Apart from China, Taiwan and Malaysia, they are coming with cost-effective APIs. And now some of the companies, Indian companies, are establishing in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka also. They're starting their operation so that they can get the their API with more cost-effective.
Okay. Thank you. Very valuable information. Thank you.
And one more question, Sriram. Thank you for this answer. So you actually discussed about 10 ppm, that is,
Part per million.
parts per million.
Okay.
So what is the importance of 10 ppm or 20 ppm? Like
That is the impurity profile we are telling, because some impurities, because if you take a simple example, gold, our gold purity is 91.6 kd. That is the purity of the gold, 91.6 only. That is, even though they are called as 91.6 kdm, that is the purity of the gold. So if you take the 100 grams of gold, so 91.6 grams only gold will be there. Remaining other materials are added. Some places they will add cadmium, some places they will add copper, some other places based on the area other impurities added. Whereas here, if the pharmaceutical industry, particularly API industry, if you take 1 million means 10 lakh parts. In these 10 parts, what is the comparison? Very, very low.
Yeah.
10 ppm impurity also, it is playing a vital role. It will impact the patient's health. So already we are giving the medicine to the ill body. We are giving medicines to the ill body. Then the impurity levels are more. So instead of curing one disease, it will create another problem in the human body.
Understood. So it's actually the purity of medicine and how precision you are actually taking care of
Yes.
manufacturing it. So which countries usually, maybe US definitely ask for the highest quality, less
No,
than.
that is there depending on the pharmacopoeia. For suppose some in the world, if you see that one, Japan will ask the highest pure material.
Okay.
Highest pure metal will be asked by the Japan. They required 99.999 purity metal only. That much pure drug only you can supply to Japan.
Okay.
So comparatively, US, Japan pharmacopoeias are very stringent.
Yeah.
But the market in the Japan is very less, very, very less.
Correct.
That is where people, it will not come to that much focus.
Yeah,
Whereas
correct.
in the US is the world topmost market is there. If you in terms of the sales.
US, yeah, US and.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. Please ask Lokesh.
Yeah. Given the current situation and government policies, current COVID-19 situation, to infuse pharma sector with some financial support, what do you think it will take India? How long it will take for India to reach to end complete dependency on China and other countries for API?
For API, we have to stop dependency, means it will not come within very short span. With my experience, it will take not less than 5 to 8 years, because now only government also giving some subsidies to the organizations where to reduce the dependency in the China. Now some intermediate plants are constructing. So when the intermediate plants are constructing, again we have to debottleneck the supply, and we have to match the supply chain management. So all of a sudden today I am stopping from China. No. If you small example, if you consider vitamin C, in India, vitamin C production is 0. So all the bulk API required for the vitamin C tablets are importing from China only. Because the complete 10 tablet strip, it is coming for 10 rupees or 12 rupees. So that much cost effectively vitamin C production in India, it is not possible. And recently the case studies was published. And if the vitamin C, if you produce in India, the tablet cost is going to 48 rupees. Strip cost is going to. Sorry. So it will take 5 to 8 years. And some of the companies already, they approach the government, and government giving the subsidies, and they're giving the lands with a very competitive price, so that they're starting.
Yes, thank you. And there is an appreciation from Armugam Arasan from Facebook. So very good information on API, and India should be strong in API soon.
India already is strong, and we have to further strong. So we have to reduce the dependency. That's all.
Correct.
India is already strong in the API market. 57% of the US drugs is made in India.
India itself, yeah.
So that is, we are strong, but our API manufacturing, we are dependent on the other chemicals from the China. The dependency we have to reduce.
Maybe the
So that
ingredients
I will.
we are still dependent, and which we can actually.
If you reduce the dependency, it will become more stronger.
And I think India has the manpower also, which is there, and like China, we can also manufacture cost-effective way.
Yes,
Looking
yes.
into the manpower which is there.
Yes, yes.
So,
Yes.
thank you very much. Just to add one more thing, last night only we were discussing with our Life Pharma Coalition team member through brainstorming, and one of the colleagues, Shivraj, also shared there is a huge opportunity in API manufacturing, right, in India. So
Yes.
many people are now coming and building their own setup, and huge scope is there, right? He is also a part of that. He is also a manufacturer of pharmaceutical ingredients. So he was saying that there is a scope and we should give a platform for that. Thank you
Yes.
very much, Sridhama Murthy. Please keep in touch, keep in tune, and we will have some more questions at the end of the session. Now we'll go to the next
Definitely.
session, that is Lokesh Pathak. Right, our next speaker, Mr. Lokesh Pathak, is there. So Lokesh, you can start sharing your presentation. Lokesh is PhD, MS Pharma and PhD, and he is the Chief Scientific Officer in Green Jiva Corporation. Lokesh is having a huge experience in holistic versus Western medicine. That is what he is going to share. That is another very, very important and evolving topic, if you ask me. Western medicines versus holistic medicine. Lot of debates going on in different forums, and people generally prefer Western medicines because of the quick relief, right? But if you understand the holistic medicines, you will definitely go for that. So over to you, Mr. Lokesh.
Yeah, thank you, Yashwant sir, for nice introduction. And I would like to give brief overview of how holistic medicines, though there is Western medicine mentioned in my slides. So I'm not going deeper into this topic, but all of us know what are Western medicines. Basically, these are allopathic medicines, which are chemical compounds which undergo phase 1 to phase 4, phase 3 trials, and then they get marketed. And then there are phase 4 studies on that. So basically, these are chemical compounds. It can be synthetic. It can be isolated from any plants. So versus holistic medicines. Holistic medicines, when we talk about holistic, the whole concept of holistic is it considers not only a intervention by drug or plant compounds, but it also considers a social, psychological, environmental impact on the individual. And uh, herbal medicines form core of that. As far as Indian traditional system of medicine is concerned, which is Ayurveda, and then there is a Chinese method, Chinese traditional ingredients, which has concept of yin and yang. We have Vata Kapha Pitta basis to treat various disorders and to prevent various disorders, in addition to lifestyle changes and all. So I'll be focusing my topic on how holistic medicine segment can emerge as a very great opportunity for Indian manufacturing sector, and what is the current status of that, and what are the current challenges Indian industry is facing to overcome as far as US and European market is concerned. So we know that in tribal areas and villages, almost 80% of the population uses medicinal herbs or indigenous system of medicines. So we also know that there is a Ayush department in India, which has Ayurveda, Unani, and then homeopathy, yoga, siddha, and that's how it becomes Ayush. So 80% of the rural population uses medicinal herbs and indigenous system of medicine. That's the huge dependency on traditional system of medicines. And we also know that 960 plant species are used by Indian herbal industry, and the turnover of the industry is more than rupees 80 billion right now. So we look at this figure 960 as very big, but to tell you the truth, so this figure is very less as compared to what India has. India is one of the major biodiverse countries. There are 17 major biodiverse countries around the globe, and India is one of them. and there are more than 9,000 to 10,000 species of plants in India. And when you look at that number and when you look at this number, 9,000 versus 960 it's almost only 10% of the entire storage that India has. So uh, there is a lot of potential for India to grow in terms of using plant species, making any kind of dietary supplements or Ayurvedic drugs or food supplements, because this is how they are known in different countries. So there is a lot of untapped potential, and we need to harness that potential. So this is the scenario in next 5 years, I would say. Global complementary and alternative medicine market, 2018 to 2015, compound annual growth rate of 16.8% from 19 to 25. That's a pretty good number. And if India uses its potential, plans, and uses diverse geographical locations, and then cultivation, various agricultural methods to promote medicinal plant cultivation, then definitely India can be a major player in this compound annual growth rate, whatever we see here. So this is how 15 to 19 figures look like. These figures are of agricultural and allied sectors, which also has spices. But then spices are also used in different countries as medicines. For example, turmeric. Turmeric is used as food, it is used as spices. And now there are various studies on turmeric, and especially active constituent of turmeric, which is curcumin. So curcumin extract and various extract ratios of curcumin, like 95%, 80%, 70% of the curcumins. It again has three different bioactive constituents like bis-methoxycurcumin, dis-methoxycurcumin, and then curcumin itself. And then there are some essential oils in the turmeric. So these are being looked at as a very potential intervention in various disorders like cancer, and then inflammation, even diabetes. So spices are also coming under these figures, which also comes under agriculture and allied sectors. So when you look at it, 2015 to 2019, you see only $100 billion, $1 million growth. Looking at the India's potential, and then the knowledge which India already has various treatises like Charak Samhita and Shushrut Samhita. And whatever drugs are being exported, drugs would be a wrong word to say, whatever herbals are being exported are 10% of the Charak Samhita and Shushrut Samhita compendials. So there is a huge potential to grow, and there are certain limitations on marketing that. So I will be discussing those limitations in a few slides next. So these are the major players in India right now who are exporting to regulated markets, I would say. Though dietary supplements are regulated less as compared to the pharmaceutical sector, but there are certain kind of regulations when it comes to label claims. If you want to put certain label claims and health claims, then you have to have certain kind of studies and clinical trials, which are double-blind plus placebo-controlled clinical trials. So these are the major players who are performing those kind of studies right now, and they are able to trap large amount of market in regulated market like US and European Union. European Union is more stringent as compared to US, where you have to have more information, documentation, and DMF filings also in some countries for herbal supplements and dietary supplements. So Sidler, Himalaya, Patanjali tried to focus a few years back. All of you, or few of you must be knowing that they got a setback when heavy metals were detected in Patanjali products, especially arsenic contamination. And arsenic is, we can say, it is one of the
Carcinogenic.
yeah, it is a heavy metal, it is carcinogenic, and arsenic is also considered as intervention in certain samhitas. And then we cannot convince the people in other countries where we export, that see arsenic, though it is toxic, it is purified in certain ways that its toxicity gets alleviated, it is reduced, and it is no more toxic. So again, we have to have certain kind of studies to show that where Patanjali failed, and then they had to get back their product. And then now it is very difficult for them to enter again into US market. So these are certain challenges, even with very big companies like Patanjali, and Himalaya also got a few setbacks. And as far as curcumin is concerned, then we had a different challenge in terms of curcumin. So curcumin also can be synthesized chemically, as well as it comes from the turmeric extract. So you have to get curcumin from the extract, and you have to get from the synthetic method. So obviously the synthetic curcumin will be cheaper than extracted curcumin. And there where we faced, I mean, Indian sector faced a lot of challenges. They could not identify how to tackle this problem. Then there are certain test methods like C14 test method, where we can identify what is coming from a plant and what is coming from the synthetic base based on C14 test. So the SAMI labs, you must be knowing, it is based in Bangalore. So they came up with this kind of study, C14 test, and they have shown that, see, whatever you are getting at $50 in USA, and we are selling you at $100. So the reason is the curcumin that you are getting from China is synthetic, and they have proven with that C14 test method, and that's how we could again penetrate into this market of curcumin, which is very big, and curcumin is very hot selling product in the US market right now. So this kind of efforts, scientific efforts, are needed to tackle the competitors. This was just an example of curcumin. There are many other products which are also coming from plant compounds, and they have synthetic counterpart, especially coming from China. So we need certain kind of infusion, certain kind of efforts to overcome this challenge and get back our market. So these are the opportunities for India. The figure is not looking so great. India's share in the global herbal export market is less than 1%. Now looking at, we are one of the major biodiverse countries in the world. Secondly, we have ancient wisdom of Ayurveda. There are many formulations in Ayurveda. And looking at that, we think as an Indian that, okay, we must be great in the herbal export. Obviously, that is how we think as an Indian. But then when it comes to export, our market share is less than 1%. That's a very dismal figure. And where we can find potential for India to grow. So this potential has not been exploited of emerging market as well as developed market. So there we have a chance to grow. So 70% of export from the herbal sector consists largely of raw materials and is estimated to be rupees 12 billion per annum. Now, the other reason why our share is less than 1%, because we are not focusing on formulation, but we are focusing on exporting our raw materials, which are cheaper in cost. For example, we take an example of amla. So if we export amla fruit has less value as compared to amla extract. And then while preparing amla extract, then you have to have certain solvents for extraction. You have to have certain criteria as where residual solvent will not appear in the final formulation. So the wisdom of pharmaceutical industry, I think residual solvents, there are ICH guidelines, residual solvents, there are USP regulations on residual solvents as well. But in India, there are no clear guidelines on residual solvent, how much it should be in the herbal formulation. So industry here, they keep on extracting a particular product, but they do not have knowledge on how much is allowed, how much is not allowed. And when such companies try to export to regulated markets, they get a setback. Their product is rejected, and then ultimately India cannot grow to grow bigger and bigger in this export sector. So these are certain challenges that India is facing right now. So 30% of export consists of finished products, including herbal extracts. So these 30% consist of regulated as well as emerging markets, non-regulated markets, Africa and everything. But then we also know that US and European Union, the prices are high, and then if we can tap that, then this 30% can be 60%, 70% in no time. Especially in COVID situation, where we know that people are looking at alternative system of medicines as an intervention. So they are looking at ashwagandha, they are looking at amla because amla has vitamin C. They are looking at oranges and their extracts as vitamin C. But we are lacking in standardizing active constituents of these herbs. We have to tell them amla consists of this much percent of vitamin C. We have to tell orange consists of this much percentage of vitamin C. If we do not tell them, then they think that we do not know much about our product. Then how can we take your product? If you do not know how much vitamin C this material has, then obviously they feel that we are lacking somewhere in our technical knowledge. And this is where gap should be filled. It should be filled with the farmers, because that is starting point from where we purchase the raw materials. So farmers do not know, and in other countries, with my experience, even farmers know that their product, and they get it tested. If they do not know, they get it tested with certain third-party labs like Eurofins, SGS, and TUV, that their product contains this much of active constituent, and that is how they market that product, which is actually lacking in our country. They sell it to the traders, and then traders, of course, they are our conventional traders. They do not have much information on scientific way of marketing. And when it comes to herbal industry, and they try to look at how much percentage of the active constituent is, by that time they realize this is less, this is more, and they cannot give back that material to the farmers, and they are ultimately sitting with the product without even exporting that. So certain situations are like that, where we have to focus, and we have to overcome to increase our exports. So achieving regulatory compliance is one of the major hurdles for exporters. Differences in the country-specific GMP standards and drug registration requirements are considered the major impediments for Indian manufacturers. To elaborate this point, India, when you look at India for herbal extract marketing and registration, no safety and efficacy studies are required for marketing approval. You can market amla powder, you can market amla extract as a food, and then there is the Act, Drug and Cosmetic Act of 1940, DCA Act, which says that herbal products do not require any kind of safety and efficacy studies. You can even write that this is antioxidant, this is anti-inflammatory. But when you look at other countries, for example, USA, most of the Indian herbal medicinal products are marketed as dietary supplements under the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994. The Act does not require submission of any safety or efficacy data for marketing approval. So this is kind of in conformance with what India does. But the manufacturers have the responsibility of substantiating the safety of their products. So this is where Patanjali case happened. Though there is no label requirements, no particular registration requirements in the US market, but the safety part is always, the onus of safety part is always on the manufacturer. And no health claims towards a particular disease or disorder is allowed. If you do that, you have to show scientific support in case of clinical studies. And the clinical studies also should be double-blind, placebo controlled. It should not be metastatic analysis. It should not be just a case study given by the doctors, performed by the doctors. So these kind of regulations are in USA, where Indian standards do not match, and that is where we cannot export our herbal products as a dietary supplement. When it comes to European Union, the application for marketing authorization for traditional medicinal products requires bibliographic evidence and preclinical safety data, such as toxicologic and pharmacologic test data. As per the traditional herbal medicinal product directive 2004-24 EC, to obtain a traditional use registration, the applicant has to submit the quantitative and qualitative particulars of constituents of the medicinal product, description of manufacturing methods, therapeutic indications, contraindications, adverse reaction, posology, and form and the route of administration. So this is actually very much similar to what pharmaceutical industry requires. But then herbal industry, which is present in India, they do not perform these kind of studies. So when they want to export that, definitely there is a gap in what they require in terms of documentation, safety, and efficacy, and what we can provide. So definitely there will be no scope of further negotiation, and then time will be lost, and then other countries who have already performed such kind of studies, they will tap that market. So this type of studies are already this type of incidences are already happening in the global scenario as far as Indian herbal industry is concerned. So where we have to focus and overcome these kind of challenges. Next point comes to standardization of raw materials. So this again emerges as a major issue for Indian herbal industry. As per the Department of Ayush, nearly 600 medicinal plant products, 52 minerals, and 50 animal products are commonly used in traditional Ayurvedic preparations. Medicinal plants are easily contaminated during growth, collection, and processing. Why during growth? Because most of these are cultivated, it comes from the soil, and if farm fields are near any industrial zones, then mercury contamination and other heavy metal contamination is very, very common. And then again, it depends on geographical area. If you go to Rajasthan, the soil is kind of reddish. When you go to Maharashtra, Karnataka, soil is black, and then metal composition also differs. And if you look at other regulations in other countries, for example, USA, even regulation differs state-wise. California regulations are different from Texas regulations. So, for example, Ramamurthy sir explained that heavy metal 10 ppm value. So this 10 ppm value is also applicable to herbal products, but then California state has a different requirement. They say that lead content should not be more than 0.5 ppm. This is their, I can say, special requirement on accepting any kind of product, whether it is pharmaceutical or chemical or herbal. So meeting these kind of challenges is very difficult for Indian industry. So there we need to focus. We need to look at our client, what are their requirements, what are the regulations in those countries, and accordingly we have to plan growth, collection, and processing. Substitution, adulteration, and heavy metal contamination are the three major problems reported for Indian herbal medicines. So substitution in the way that I know that with my experience, substitution, I will share that example. Amla extract, which comes with 40% of the tannins. Tannins, we know that it plays an important role. Epigallocatechin, catechin, these are antioxidants in nature. And there are certain studies also to support these claims. So when it comes to amla extract 40%, what people do is, especially Chinese manufacturers, what they do is they started selling this amla extract at cheaper price as compared to Indian product. When we know that amla is not cultivated in China, then how could they do that? This was the obvious question. And when we did further studies and we did some third-party tests and analysis on HPTLC, we found that the amla extract 40% tannin, what it contains, it is actually coming from peanuts, because peanuts also has tannins. And peanuts are actually considered as allergens in US market. So it is one of the 8 major allergens in US market. So these kind of adulterations are very common from the competitors, as well as in Indian industry also competitors are using this kind of substitution and adulteration, where we need to overcome these kind of challenges. We need to have some method to find out these adulterations, and that's how we can give a genuine products to end users. The intentional or accidental presence of toxic heavy metals is reported at all steps, beginning from collection of raw material to manufacturing. This I have already discussed. microbial contaminants and mycotoxins, notably aflatoxin. We know that all plant-based material, they have potential for fungal growth, and certain kind of fungus, for example, aspergillus. So they produce certain kind of toxins. Aflatoxin is one of them, and these are grown and they are into the product. Their introduction happens in the product at the pre-harvest and post-harvest stages, including storage conditions where humidity conditions and then temperature affects fungal growth. So aflatoxin, again, coming back to aflatoxin, we do not test in India what is the level of aflatoxin. Now, when it comes to consumption, let's say various spices, for example, capsicum powder, chili powder, it is definitely a food product, but it is also herbal product in certain countries. Turmeric powder, we use turmeric powder, we go to a grocery shop and we purchase turmeric powder, but Indian regulation, Food Safety and Standard Authorization of India does not put any kind of limit on aflatoxin. And aflatoxins are very, very common. When the same turmeric you want to export to US market, the value should be 20 parts per billion. It's not even million, it's parts per billion. So 20 ppb value is required for US market, and for European Union it is required at 5 parts per billion. And normally the Indian spices, Indian fruit products, they are with 50 parts per billion value of aflatoxin in normal way. What we consume is that much aflatoxin every day. So here, our regulations, Food Safety Standard Authorization of India has to think that these products are also going as herbal products. So there should be some kind of agreement or support inputs given, should be given by Ayush or any other notable and concerned authorities and industry. There should be this kind of intervention, which is not happening right now. So all the onus is on the supplier. They have to take care of all these things. And when there is no force to the industry, then there is, I can say, there is no combined effort, and it won't happen in short period of time. If complete onus of doing these things is on the supplier and manufacturer, then these things will not happen. There should be certain regulations which should be matching to exporting country regulations. Only then these things can happen. So conventional quality control methods often become insufficient because of complex nature of herbal medicines. Although developed countries require chemical fingerprinting and marker-based assessment of raw materials and active ingredients for assuring its quality, in India, this concept was only recently introduced. To give an example of this, when we sell organic beetroot powder, organic in the sense organic is the product which is cultivated without use of any pesticide, that is known as organic for the viewers. So when we sell that, the people ask us how we ensure that this is beetroot powder. Tell us how we consider that what you are giving is red in color, but it is beet only. How do we ensure that? And there we do not have any kind of data to support that. We say, okay, this is beet powder only. Beet powder comes from beet only, and that is how you have to accept. Where they can't accept, and we do not have any kind of supporting evidence to prove that this is a beet powder. They ask us that you have to prove that this is a turmeric powder. Though it looks yellow, it tastes same like turmeric, but then we have to give certain kind of analytical data to support that, okay, this is turmeric, and that is how you have to accept it. So there are small things that we need to work on, and uh, to address this challenge, what we did was we have done FTR analysis, which is very common for identification of drugs. If we have to perform any kind of reformulation studies and check that whether this drug is, let's say, for example, diclofenac or paracetamol, this is the fingerprinting, FTR fingerprinting of that drug. So same concept, we took it to herbal powders, and that's why we have proven that, okay, this is the turmeric powder fingerprint of FTR, and this is matching to standard of turmeric. Now please accept our material. So these kind of approaches we have to bring from pharmaceutical sector to nutraceutical sector, and we have to upgrade our technology that we are using in nutraceutical industry and increase our export. So marker-based analysis is a costly process again. 1 milligram, 10 milligram of standard markers of ashwagandha and brahmi and all these drugs, it costs up to 10 lakhs and 20 lakhs, which for a small scale and medium scale herbal industry in India is very difficult. That every industry should have a marker when they are exporting the product. They cannot afford. So there should be some kind of government support, or there should be a centralized lab put by government of India where they can test it. This kind of support, when it will be given by government, then and then only small and medium scale industry can overcome these kind of challenges. So in conclusion, proper development and implementation of regulatory guidelines on quality control aspects and development of marker-based standards are needed to produce safe and effective herbal medicines in India, because evidence-based studies are becoming increasingly essential for establishing the safety and efficacy of herbal products in the domestic and export market. More focus should be placed on scientific and technological advancement in the field of herbal medicine. And for that, regulatory harmonization becomes essential to mitigate delays in commercialization across the countries. So this is the conclusion, and any questions are welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lokesh. Really a good, insightful. Please stop sharing.
Yeah.
Insightful session. And let me first, before going ahead, let me tell you, I have warned my panelists not to invite any PhD, person in our session. They did not listen, and this is what they have done. You have given so much deep learning to us that I and Rubber are definitely going to do PhD on holistic medicine. That is one part. And second part is, you can see a smile on their face. As a moderator, I have to recap it, right? That is the challenge. So they are smiling now. Let us see how he is going to recap. So, but I really like the session. Lot of new learning. We have had an overview of what is modern medicine and what is holistic medicine, but you have given deep insight. So some key points I want to reiterate. Western medicines, as you told, mainly focusing on injury and elevating pain. The focus area is on injury and pain, right? That is a focus on biophysical and biochemical procedure. While the holistic medicines, what a new term we came to know, is derived from whole. Whole means complete, body, mind, and spirit. So holistic medicines are evolved from body, mind, and spirit. That is what we have given a good thing. Then illness in context of holistic medicine refers to social, environmental, and personal circumstances. Not only bodily things, but it is a whole. That is why holistic medicine is having huge approach. So we can say the modern medicine or Western medicine is having short-term SOS target, while holistic medicine is having an overview of whole body. Then you told regarding India, even in India and rural area today also, 80% of the people in rural area, they use herbals in their treatment. So it is already there. And two of the guidelines you told, Susrut Sahita and Charak Sahita, where huge knowledge about the holistic medicine is there. Only 10% of that knowledge we have been able to use, and 90% is still unexplored. That is a huge thing we can say. And global market, it is really surprising for us that in holistic medicine, the global market is already big market is there, and is estimated to be $163 billion market, and that too by 2025, that too compound annual growth rate of 16%, a huge market. Only is the negative point is India is having less than 1% market share. Only less than 1% market share in the global market. The huge scope. Some of the key players of India like Himalaya, Patanjali, Dabur, and Baidyanath are there who are giving but opportunities you are saying is that we are supplying raw material like amla, tulsi. We should supply the finished goods. Instead of supplying the raw material, we should supply the finished good where the price is very high. That is where is the opportunity for Indian companies. For that, you should know the technical know-how, very, very important. You should know what is the composition, what is the percentage of ingredient. This is what technological know-how is very, very important if you are preparing to supply the finished good. That is what you have told. Really good knowledge. Thank you very much. And European Union is more stringent so far the regulatory is concerned than US. So learning really is very good. Anyone who is working on the nutraceuticals and herbal products, they can definitely think of exploring US opportunities and European Union opportunities because price is very high. Thank you once again, Lokesh. Now over to my panelists for any feedback they have got.
Yeah, Lokesh, again, I should appreciate because a lot of new learnings were there. Even herbal medicines, we were thinking of Avla just being an herbal medicine, and so much insights you gave today. And I am sure those who are live audience, they must have enjoyed and they have really appreciated also your session. So I'll just share those appreciations which have come in a huge number. There is Megha Avasti. She says, great wisdom. Focusing on our strength, we need technical professionalism like you. So we need technical professionals like you, she's saying, and she thanks you for the session, which was highly insightful. Rohit Dikshit, he says, Lokesh ji, very good presentation, and I think herbal is having bright future in all over the world. As you have already shown that herbal medicine is the future, and definitely finished products we can create a market internationally. There is a Senthil are appreciating very good insights, Mr. Lokesh Pathak, nice presentation. Ishwari, also very nice presentation, sure. Thank you for sharing. So a lot of appreciations have come for this session. Thank you, Lokesh. I will now go to my next panelist, ICS.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Lokesh, for such a wonderful insights. You actually took it into the research of herbal medicine. And what I could see is, so India is only 1% in exporter, means we have 99% opportunity is there to grow into this industry. And definitely India is going to make a mark in the future with the government support, and the people like you who are into the, the research and can help the young scientists to, progress further. So there are questions that we have from Facebook. The first one is from Amy Vyas. So can we make personalized medicine on holistic approach?
Holistic approach is already personalized approach. So in holistic approach, there are considerations of environmental, social, psychological, and you must be knowing that there used to be one Nadi Parikshan in Indian system.
Yes.
So based on that, every individual's character, Vata, Kapha, Pitta, people used to, ancient Vaidyas, they used to prescribe medicines. So when we talk about holistic medicines, it's already personalized medicines. In other way, we can say that it was ancient way of pharmacogenetics. Today we talk about pharmacogenetics, but we already have in India in terms of Ayurveda and yoga, pharmacogenetic system of and personalized system of medicine.
Great. So one more question from Mr. Kalai Raj. So he's expressing a view that post COVID, a lot of people are using lemon, ginger, and people are believing that, and they are using it. But how to convert this into a business opportunity?
Yeah, that's what I said. We have to have certain kind of scientific evidence. We cannot just go on telling that amla has a vitamin C when we do not even know how much vitamin C percentage it has, whatever we are providing. So now we are at this stage, and when we have to take it to a drug level, then we have to have evidences that any drug has up to phase 3. So we have to perform clinical trials on that, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, safety, efficacy, toxicological studies, and then we can claim that these are really effective for any kind of intervention, not only in COVID, but for other disorders also. Correct.
I think we have been following since ages because of the the practices from our families and maybe the elders, but we don't have any evidence which need to be built. So question is similar from Armugam Arasan. So he asked, can't we have RCTs, randomized controlled trials to support, because until and unless you don't have trials, definitely you cannot win in this market. You cannot establish the trust in the patients. So
yeah, we can have, but then again, as I said, Indian herbal industry, many of manufacturers are falling into small and medium enterprises. They do not have capacity to even have a standard marker of the drug. That I already discussed. That one standard costs them 10 lakhs. And then performing a randomized control trial is again big affairs. There are doctors, there are volunteers, there are 5,000 and 10,000 of volunteers in phase 3 studies. So to perform this kind of studies, again, it's like big investment, and small and medium enterprise, they cannot do it. But then government, if they are willing to take this as an ancient wisdom of India as a country, then they can take it through their CSIR scientific CSIR institutions. There are many central institutions in India like CMAP and other institutes, also central government institutes. They can ask them to perform those studies, and it can be public-private public-private partnership, and then definitely something can come up.
Great. I think you addressed all, and yes, there is an appreciation from Kalai Raj for your insightful session. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, ICS. Thank you very much, Lokesh. Really good, insightful, and all the sessions were really diverse topics, but giving you to the good perspective as a whole. We panelists will definitely become research scholars one day. Lot of learning we are getting. Before giving you again for the parting shot, I just want to appreciate Mr. Sujit Ghoshal, who is in Patna, and he is a common friend of me and Marendra. And Sujit has found Amren's presentation very, very useful in building high performance team, and he's promising that his team will become high performance now. Right. Thank you very much, Sujit and the team, for watching. And Arun Balasubramaniam also has appreciated the entire team. He was a regular watcher. Thank you, Arun, for appreciation. And now I go to Amrendra for parting shot. Your last word message to the people. Yes, Amrendra.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you are.
You're audible, not audible now, Amrendra.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, great. So I think thanks to all the audience, viewers, those who are watching and appreciating the effort. So, and I really would like to thank the entire team of LPC for arranging such beautiful events. So I think really it was I was first time, and it was really happiness for me as well to have kind of learning. So it was not only that I was speaking, it was a lot of my learning today when I interacted with a different industry person like herbal and then to manufacturing. So far I was knowing only how to sell and how to create a team for the selling. So maybe understanding manufacturing is a bit of more understanding. And the industry leaders like us, One Sir, ICS Sir, and on Mr. Raman, Vinod. So really is a good learning for me as well. And I think my one suggestion or one way last word to the entire group who is watching us is that this is the time when people really need your help and support. So you really have to be on your toes to support your team, and always believe that that trust and team building is one of the greatest work in today's scenario of this COVID. And I'm truly telling you, today's challenge is really going to be a biggest joke for tomorrow. So believe on that. And then this is what. So thank you, team LPC, and thank you, S1 for calling me.
Ramendra. Sri Ramamurthy, please give your final message. Unmute your mic. Sri Rama, yes.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to give my thanks to calling me for such a wonderful platform to give my views. This is the first time I'm giving outside the factory, because always our trainings are there inside of the factory, inside the team only. If not, other units will be there in the same organization. This is the first time I got an opportunity for talking to the other people who is not in the organization. Thank you very much. And viewers, please use this opportunity and please come up with any doubts are there. We are ready to clarify your doubts. Which is posted after this session also, we'd like to clarify through your emails. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Shikam. Yes, Lokesh, your final parting shot.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for giving me opportunity to present my views here, and especially to be with stalwarts like Sri Rama sir and uh, Sri Rama sir and Amrinder sir. It was like a privilege to be in the same panel, and then all of you, ICS sir and Yashwant sir, Vinod sir and Raman sir, and it was a great encouragement for a young person like me, and I will always look for any kind of support in terms of. And then sales and marketing is not only about money; it is actually required even in science. So it was a great learning with all of you. Thanks for that.
Thank you very much, Lokesh. Thank you. Let us go to Raman. Raman, over to you. Overview. Yes.
So thank you so much. First, I would like to thanks to all our live audience. Today we got the live audience in between the 25 to 30 live audience. They were there consistently from 11 o'clock till time. And once we look at the Facebook page, this page, the video has been reached to some around close to 400 audience. Those who has watched us currently the live, the people reach. And of course, last not but least, thanks to all over the three speaker, those who has given the time from your the busy schedules. And I will just go on to like the last slides of the word of thanks. It should, I think it's visible
Yes.
already. All over the four speaker. Thank you, three speakers. Thank you so much, Amrinder sir, Sriram and Lokesh, all three. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, all of you. It was really good learning. So let us keep in touch. We have a main group where we will. I think we can go off now, Raman.